Woe to you of earth and sea.
Welcome to Satan is My Superhero, a show for atheists, scoffers, heathens, and unbelievers. I'm your host, Judas Falling. In this episode, we return to a topic we've briefly touched on in previous shows. But this time, it's personal.
I have some disturbing news, Ms. President.
What is it?
Al-Qaeda got Jigglypuff.
No!
We first mentioned Pokémon way back in episode 6.
Origin Story, Volume 1.
I was looking for a ridiculous thing for a crazy Christian to demonize as a juxtaposition to the more consequential demonizing we had seen in that episode. The most ridiculous demonizing I found at the time was Pastor Phil Arms from Phil Arms Life Reach Ministries, who literally wrote the book on Pokémon.
Pokémon and Harry Potter, A Fatal Attraction, an expose of the secret war against the youth of America.
Phil said,
Pokémon world is a world of the demonic, of the satanic. But while you might not take it quite seriously, I assure you that demons take it quite seriously. Satan takes it quite seriously.
Like very quite seriously.
Then in episode 9,
Gamer Satan,
Pokémon got its own section where we quoted Phil again, along with Universal Life Church and Christian radio host Rick Wiles. So you would think we've pretty much drained the Pokémon pond by now.
It's as dry as a dead dingo's donga.
But because I'm Father of the Year and came up with a way of spending time with my kids during the holidays that benefited me...
What a bastard.
I got them to do research on a couple of episodes. Now, I'm not a total ass.
Are you sure?
I let them choose the topic. So here we are. Pokémon.
Yay.
Nah, it'll be good. If you've lived under a rock for the last 3 decades, Pokémon is an abbreviation of Pocket Monsters and began life as a game for the Nintendo Game Boy.
8-bit, 4th generation handheld game console with a dot matrix screen, adjustable contrast dial, 5 game control buttons and a single speaker with adjustable volume dial. Is anyone else aroused? No, just me then.
I'll let our resident Pokémon expert explain the game.
I'm going to explain Pokémon in 2 sentences. Illegal mutant fighting ring and kidnapping.
In the game, you catch and train your pocket monsters to battle other pocket monsters.
Is that a monster in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I know what you're wondering. How could an Asian video game involving monsters, magic, and mythology upset people with a Christian worldview? Well, it's Asian. Involves monsters, magic, mythology.
We get the picture.
Yeah, you know where this is going. So is there anything real to base Christian concerns about this game on? Well, in 1996, after hearing part of the music from the original Pokémon on the Nintendo Game Boy, hundreds of children in Japan committed suicide.
There's no way that is true.
There's no way that is true.
It's an urban legend with absolutely no basis in any real event whatsoever. Something that did actually happen, though, occurred in 1997 when an episode of the Pokémon anime series aired in Japan and induced photosensitive epileptic seizures in over 600 children. The companies involved colluded in a massive conspiracy and covered it all up.
There's no way that is true.
There's no way that is true.
No. The episode was pulled from rotation and has never been broadcast since. Nintendo's stock dropped 3.2%. The television station apologized. Broadcasters and medical experts got together to investigate the phenomena and developed guidelines so it wouldn't happen again. Meet Bill. He thinks our show is...
right out of the pit of hell!
Bill is very excited to visit satanismysuperhero.com and find out the many different ways he can support the show.
I have to admit, I'm very excited. So how do we do this?
You bend over.
In 1999, Pastor David Brown wrote about occult symbols on the character Kadabra.
He has a pentagram on his forehead, triple S on his chest, and he's given the satanic salute with his left hand.
The creepiest part is wherever you go in the room, his eyes follow you.
Interestingly, infamous spoon-bending con artist Uri Gellar sued Nintendo in 1999, claiming that evil satanic-looking character Kadabra is based on him.
I bend spoons with my mind.
While the case was dismissed in 2003, Kadabra disappeared from all Pokémon media.
Later, bitches.
You will be pleased to know, however, the story has a happy ending.
Just like my massages. Boom tish.
In 2020, infamous spoon-bending con artist Uri Gellar, recognizing Pokemon's reach into a new generation, graciously lifted his ban on Kadabra in a tweet that read,
I'm sorry for what I did.
He's only sorry his psychic powers could not predict the marketing potential for younger generations.
Hey, Zuma, would you pay money to see a 76-year-old man bend spoons with psychic powers?
No!
Would you change your mind if I told you I have a Pokémon character based on me?
Well, it wouldn't make me not change my mind.
Worth it!
Pastor Brett Peterson is best known for appearing on the incredibly credible History Channel's incredibly credible show, Ancient Aliens.
There's no way brown people built the pyramids.
In 2001, the good pastor wrote,
Pokémon is not the enemy. It is Lucifer and all that exalts itself against Jesus Christ and the true path to enlightenment. Pokémon is a tool the enemy can use to build a false foundation and plant seeds of futility in my child.
You look sad.
Yeah, just contemplating the futility of life. I mean, what's the point if there isn't some supernatural judge at the end of it to tell me I did it better than everyone else?
Can't you just enjoy existence for the precious gift it is?
No! If I don't get validation from a mass-murdering genocidal father figure, it's just not worth it.
Peterson also wrote,
My son is 6, and we had a whole book of Pokémon cards. After praying about it, he made the decision to get rid of his cards because he could see they were evil.
What I would normally do here is put in a sketch recreating that scene of a 6-year-old little boy coming to the conclusion his Pokémon cards were evil and had to be thrown away, all by himself, without any coercion, cajoling, or manipulation.
Unlikely.
Obviously, in that hypothetical sketch, I would stress what an open, loving environment I imagine Christian families to be.
That's bullshit.
I would also try and empathise with the predicament the information age puts a modern Christian parent in.
That's even more bullshit than the last bullshit thing you said.
The constant stress they must be under, knowing with all the influences pouring into the house, the chance their children will grow up as stupid as they are is low and getting lower every day.
See ya, wouldn't wanna be ya.
But I thought, no, it's time you did some work.
Good dream sequence music.
I want you to close your eyes.
Please do not close your eyes if you are currently driving or operating machinery.
Picture the scene. An innocent little boy with chubby little cheeks, chubby little legs, and chubby little arms is clutching the Pokémon cards with his chubby little hands. He turns to his father and says, "Oh, Papa, after much spiritual reflection, I have come to the conclusion that these..." You know what, I can't do it. The whole story's a bald-faced lie.
Are you saying you find it hard to believe a 6-year-old boy would prey on his Pokémon cards and, all by himself, come to the conclusion he should throw them away?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Just roll the sketch.
Daddy, please, can I stop now?
You keep praying. You keep praying until you know just how evil your brain is. You don't think right. You think wrong. You keep praying until you know it like I know it. You are evil.
One more point from Peterson that we have to talk about because it will come up again and again later on. He writes,
A word here about evolution. Since I cringe at the word, I was immediately uncomfortable with it.
He then goes on to defend the game, explaining that in the Pokémon world, they are not talking about a Darwinian type of evolution, but merely the maturing or aging of characters. So while Pokémon is evil, it's not that type of evil. He then writes,
Now, that being said, I am still uncomfortable with the term evolution.
Can you imagine grasping so tightly to such a shaky and fragile worldview that is so demonstrably wrong, you are triggered with a feeling of unease by the word evolution? Because deep down you know.
Excuse me, Pastor? I've been looking into evolution, and it's led me to the obvious conclusion that I shouldn't be giving you 10% of my income anymore.
You keep praying. You keep praying until you know just how evil your brain is. You don't think right. You think wrong. You keep praying until you know it like I know it. You are evil.
And because we will see this again, I'll just mention Peterson makes a point of dropping in Pokemon's connection to Eastern mysticism.
When I say that, they mean brown.
In 2012, the gaming website Play For Real ran excerpts from a Time magazine interview with Pokémon creator
Satoshi Tajiri.
In this interview, Tajiri says,
Pokémon is essentially the correct answer towards life, not Christianity. Everything presented in the game is the opposite of what Christians may believe.
He then finishes off with this doozy.
Some could say that the game supports Satanism.
What?
Finally, after dozens of episodes, we've actually found a multinational corporation openly selling devil worshipping to children. Call QAnon. Let them know. We've cracked it. I don't know about you, but I'm off to the pub. And that's why Satan is my superhero. Yeah, but that interview was fake. It never happened. Tajiri did give an interview to Time in 1999, but nothing I just quoted was said.
How disappointing.
Play For Real was a satirical publication and it was all a joke. A piece of fake news that can be debunked in 14 seconds on Google. But if you've spent your life being told a book you are never going to read is the gospel according to your holy creator, research and critical thinking are just not your strengths.
The wheel might be spinning, but the hamster is dead.
Therefore, this satirical interview has been referenced by hysterical Christians ever since.
It sounds like the kind of thing a Chinaman would say.
He's Japanese.
Now who's being racist?
It's still you.
In the 700-page homage to dumbness,
The Complete Deliverance Manual by Jean and Earline Moody.
the Moody's state,
Evolution, reincarnation, sorcery, and psychic power are blatantly promoted in Pokémon.
that's right, evolution is packaged up here with reincarnation, sorcery, and psychic powers. They're all equal in the eyes of these two crash test dummy school dropouts.
How was atheist school today?
It was awesome. We learned to hex a neighbor with mind control and all about evolution. Then in critical race theory class, we were taught how to set up our Pornhub profile.
The Moody's were not as diligent in their analysis of Pokémon as Peterson. As much as I dislike the guy,
Credit where credit's due.
he did his homework. I get the impression with the Moody's they viewed the game with their ape-like hands over their terrified little monkey faces peeping through the cracks in their hominid fingers. Whereas Peterson went out of his way to clarify Pokemon's use of the word evolution, the Moody's make this claim.
It reinforces the false theory of evolution taught in public schools.
Do you have any evidence to support this theory of evolution?
There's the fossil record. But
I
you don't even
cannot
need to
hear
look at
you.
that. Just
I
analyze
am
DNA,
not
and in a
listening.
second,
I
it
am
becomes
not
obvious.
seeing
Or you could do
anything.
what Darwin
I
did and
am not
observe various
looking.
related species
I
geographically
rest my
separated
case.
along-
Sure, we've established Pokemon as dangerous, but seriously, how dangerous could it really be? Well, rest assured, listener, the Moody's answered this question for us with a list of penalties you can expect to receive after allowing this Asian influence into your household.
Consequences include insomnia, sleep disturbances, nightmares, annoying inner voices, reoccurring accidents, physical illnesses, memory lapses, family turmoils, financial problems, and generational curses.
Grandmother, did you play Pokémon when you were a kid?
Yes?
That would explain my non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And once again, because I really don't want this point to be lost, the Moodies also felt the need to say,
Pokemon is rooted in Japanese culture and religious belief.
When they say that, they mean brown.
I know this show often deteriorates into 20 minutes of Christian bashing, but I do think it's important to acknowledge Christians aren't the only Neanderthals who believe a magical sky fairy is going to humble their enemies and elevate them above all others. In 2001, a fatwa was issued against Pokémon in Saudi Arabia.
Death to Pikachu!
How does Pokémon transgress Islamic law, you ask? Reason number 1.
It is based on Darwinian thought, known as the theory of evolution.
Translation: never played the game or studied evolution.
Reason number 2 is because it plants in the child's mind a belief in the supernatural, which, when coming from religious leaders, is
hypocrisy on steroids, insincere,
intellectually dishonest, morally bankrupt, two-faced with both faces being liars, phony, disingenuous, fakery, duplicitous, fraudulent, disrespectful to the intelligence of anyone listening, devious, false-hearted, deceitful, a bad faith argument, dissembling, fallacious, misleading.
Have I said enough?
Check, please.
Reasons 3 and 4 are about violence and gambling, and which, that may actually be a reason for pause. But the 5th and final reason...
Pokémon has characteristic symbols that have their own indications, e.g. the 6-pointed star that is related to Zionism and Freemasonry.
I don't know about you, but I was starting to worry we were going to get through an entire episode without any anti-Semitism or mentioning...
the Freemasons.
Thank you, Saudi Arabia. The white evangelicals really dropped the ball on Freemasons this episode.
Did you go to Divinity School, Jones?
Yes, sir. Finished top of my class.
Not quite the flex you think it is, Jones. Now, tell me, what was the first lesson you learned on day 1?
The Jews did it.
That's right, Jones. The Jews did it. And what code word do we use for Jews when political expedience requires?
Freemasons.
Very good. And when we can't say Freemasons?
Illuminati.
And when we know our audience has an IQ in the high 2-digit range and may know the Illuminati don't exist?
Elites.
Excellent, Jones. I can see why you're top of the class. So, explain to me what happened with this Pokemon conspiracy theory we got you to design.
Well, because it comes from Japan, I just thought
And that's where you went wrong, Jones. You thought.
In 2016, Russian politician and former paratrooper Franz Klintsevich issued this dire warning about Pokemon Go.
There was a feeling that the devil came through this mechanism and is simply trying to destroy us spiritually from within. What's that?
Oh, it's just the devil. He's inside me, trying to destroy me spiritually. No, I am not a disappointment to my parents, and even if I was, they would still love me.
Klintsevich was joined in his concerns by respected senior Russian diplomat Andrei Polyakov, who said of the game,
"We need to take people out of the virtual world, and this generally smacks of Satan."
Say what you like about the Russians, at least their concerns weren't racist. This time.
As I said earlier, we came across Pastor Rick Wiles in the Gamer Satan episode. Here's a 2016 quote of his we didn't use in that episode about Pokemon Go.
The enemy, Satan, is targeting churches with virtual digital cyber demons.
Who does he think they're fighting? Tron?
In their 2001 book,
Entertaining Spirits Unaware,
Eric Barger of Take a Stand Ministries and David Benoit of Glory Hole Ministries. Oh, sorry, I'll do that again. Eric Barger of Take a Stand Ministries and David Benoit of Glory Ministries write,
Pokemon is a prime bait Satan is using to lure our children into the occult.
Hey, kid, want to join the occult? It's a real thing.
Nope.
What if I told you we could give you a Charizard?
Well, it wouldn't make me not want to join.
Worth it!
Oh, my Pokémon be
Shiny.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Oh, my Pokémon be
Shiny.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Barger and Benoit also wrote,
Pokémon is just the kind of inroad that Satan desires with our kids.
I just wish there was a better way of reaching the young people. We could listen to them. Oh, gods, no!
and they wrote,
Pokémon offers opportunity to create personal power, which for centuries has led millions down hell's path to violence, crime, addictions, and the occult.
Opportunity to create personal power. They don't even know when they've said the quiet part out loud. It always astounds me how glibly American evangelicals drop totalitarian ideology into their statements because their cognitive dissonance blinds them so completely.
I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Conditions apply. Liberty is not a guarantee. Justice only for wealthy and white. This message is brought to you by a politically powerful minority manipulating an undemocratic gerrymandered electoral system. Freedom. It's just the sound I'm making with my mouth.
In 2016, Barger wrote,
Instead of focusing on our mission in the last days, we are going to great lengths, literally running around attempting to capture a virtual demon. How Satan must be pleased.
According to scripture, these last days began over 726,000 days ago. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me over 726,000 times and it's
Hashtag embarrassing. Ugh, embarrassing.
Yeah, that's it. Embarrassing. But I mean embarrassing on a species-wide level. Like if you ever meet alien intelligence, promise me, for the sake of all humanity, you'll keep this a secret.
The serpent-tongued Barger also wrote,
Christians playing Pokemon Go need to consider the occult roots of Pokemon. Defending it is akin to putting lipstick on a pig.
Oink, oink.
That's the prettiest pig I ever seen. And I've seen some real pretty pigs. Oink, oink.
We've had an amazing response from listeners signing up to support the show at patreon.com/Satan is my superhero. Here are some comments left by satisfied patrons.
You're cursed. Your children are cursed. Your grandchildren are cursed. Your great-grandchildren are cursed. Burn it all.
Patreon.com/Satan's my superhero.
Of course we'll take your Satan money.
What can we take away from this episode? I'm not bringing anything new to the table when I say religious hypocrisy knows no bounds. I would like to present as my final quote one more gem from Gene and Earline Moody, who wrote this about Pokemon players.
The lines between fantasy and reality are blurred.
That's right, the couple who wrote 700 pages of pure dribble about an imaginary space wizard think Pokemon players are blurring the lines between fantasy and reality.
Tell me, child, do you know the difference between real life and fiction?
Seriously, preacher, do you really want to have this conversation?
I do think it's entirely possible these delusional morons have no self-awareness whatsoever. Which forces me to pose the question, are the peddlers of this tripe intellectually dishonest or are they actually that stupid?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
And that's why Satan is my superhero. If you've enjoyed this episode, rate, review, subscribe, you know the deal. But please do go check out the website, satanismysuperhero.com, where you will find links to the merch store, our Patreon page, and all our social medias.
Excuse me. I don't know what accent that was.
I kind of want to, though. Okay.
Perfect.
Really? Ugh.
Maybe I was the voice of the translator.
That would explain my nod. My nod.
Not really enough to get into trouble. It's just, what was that? I don't know. It was a something.
I want to do like a different voice.
Yeah. Franz Klintsevich. I think I got that name straight away. Klintsevich what? Klintsevich. It's Vich. It's got to be Vich.